Hello there, welcome to a quick, well not exactly quick, a detailed tutorial on how to start up your realm in the Game of Thrones mod for Crusader Kings 2. The reason I am doing a series, this will not be the only video of this, is because I keep seeing on Reddit and commenting on videos that somebody would like a guide on how to start this game because they haven't played it before. So, here it is. Basically, I am playing currently as Storm King Garlic the Arrogant Durandon. This was the man in charge of the Stormlands before the Baratheons. Now, first thing you're going to want to do when you start up a realm is you're going to want to open your council positions. Your council are members of either your court or particular vassals under you. These are people that work for you. You can set them to do particular jobs within your realm. For example, the castellan, or commonly known as the Hand of the King, if you watch the television series. The Hand of the King is the castellan for the king. That's the equivalent here. So that marks the skill for stewardship. So you want to go for your best stewardship, which is Allard. So Allard here. Select him. He is lord of this castle here, which is in the Stormlands area, because you have, of course, you are the lord of this castle, but underneath the castle you do have several sub-holdings, and you can build even more if you wish to improve that one province, because no matter what civil war hits, these guys will always be loyal to you. So you can even build up these two castles here for yourself to improve your own personal defense, because you can never lose your capital land, so that would be good. So you get him, he can do four things for you. Can you oversee the province, which would affect your local build modifiers and increase the tax revenue per month. You have improved defences, which would improve the garrison size and fort level. The garrison size and fort level, this is the garrison, that's 8,000 men. That's basically the amount of troops that will always be in your castle. These are the levies, they're the men that you call up. If you want to go to war, you call up the levy, but the garrison's still in your castle. So that would improve the garrison. So if somebody came along with an army, defeated your army, and then wanted to siege your place, the more men you have in this castle, the harder it is to siege, and that makes it the harder it is to lose the war. So if I raise the local levy here, that's now empty, but that is still full. But this, they will not regenerate men until that is full. So if you do lose a load of men in a siege, they have to replenish before these guys can. So let's just sit them back down again. This guy can also pacify the province, which increases the levy size and lowers revolt risk and recruitment rate. The levy size, of course, being this. If you want a few more men to go out and fight your enemies direct, you want him to do that, and that is my personal favourite, so I'm going to send him to pacify the province. This one, however, improve holding, you set him to work on that if you choose to improve the castle, which you can't here because this is a maximum fortress. If you had a smaller one, for example this, which he also owns, you didn't get the option to increase it. Now, after you do that, you have to set that particular council member to overlook the province, and he'll get to work on fixing it. So that's the first man. Then you have the Master Laws. This is chosen by the diplomacy skill. So you go to a point, the best man for the job is this fellow here, Kristen, a courtier in the Stormlands. He is basically just some guy who hangs about in your castle. He has no lands or titles. He is a grey eminence, which means he is very good at his job. He's also temperate, kind, fashionable. These are traits that define your character. So if we go here, our man here, he is strong. So that improves his stats, as you can see underneath the strong. That's all they do. He's a knight, trained fighter, he's brave. So what you can tell from this is this guy here, he's a fighting man. He wants to lead. He wants to lead the attacks because he's brave and he wants to fight some people. And also you can see in this, you can see his wife. So you can quickly click there, see his wife, all her stats. And from there you can see their child. This is the heir to his kingdom. See, she's attractive, she's also strong and brave. But she's a woman, so I don't think you'll see her fighting about that much. You can arrange marriages for anybody in your court. Simply press this button here and you get a list of people to choose from. However, because she is a female heir, and this is a game about dynasties, you want the heir of her to be of your dynasty, and if you marry her to a man, normally the heir to her will be of his dynasty. So when it comes to that character, after she dies, you'll lose the game. So you click this button here. Under the terms of matrilineal marriage, any children born of the union will be of the mother's dynasty. So that's good. But you can also go for an alliance here. You see it had alliances you'd gain, you'd neck, the Straits of Tarth. I'm going to go for the Straits of Tarth because this fellow here, he is the lord of this land here. You see that there? That is his badge. His badge there, that's Tarth. That's him right there. So if you get an alliance with him, if there is a rebellion within your land, he would be coming to help you. It also gain prestige for him, but it lose prestige for us because he's lower than us. But of course, make sure it's matrilineal, which he would not accept. So you do get these issues, so you don't really want to go for that. Although if you did have a second daughter, you could marry her off to him normally, and that would be a good alliance. But we don't need to worry about that now. He can improve diplomatic relations, so see somebody hates you, for example Lord of Tarth, you send him there. He will then improve relations with that guy, and the more he likes you, the more men he will supply to your armies, because he doesn't have to give you all the men. He has 3,300 in his castle. He's only giving you 1,700. So if you improve relations with him, he will like you even more, which will help a lot. The other options are to fabricate a claim. Say for example you want to take this land, this particular keep here. You would need a claim on it. So I can't. Well, I can declare on him for de jure on one of. Okay, maybe that was a bad example because we already have a claim on that. Say for example Rosby here. If you wanted to take that land, you'd have to fabricate a claim on it because you don't have a claim. You can't declare war to take that land. So you declare war. My only two options are Edgerton or Rollingford. If I wanted that, I could not take it. The other option is to sow dissent, which would lower the opinion between the vassal, which in this instance is me. No, the liege, which in this instance is me, and the vassal, which would be Lord Selwyn of the Straits of Tarth. So if you want to cause a civil war in the lands of one of your enemies before you attack, you would send him to do that. But improving relations is good because we don't have that many men available to us. As you can see, there's only 12,000 available men there. There's that many men. The way you increase this is by getting more land under your control or improving the holdings you have. For example here, this castle which I've shown you before, if you improve the farms here, you'd get an extra 50 light infantry. That would increase to that, which isn't really a big difference. But the main difference you'd get is by improving relations with the guys in your realm. And you would do that to increase the available vassal levy here to get more men in your army, which is very significant. Now, next, Master at Arms. This is based on the martial skill. This is effectively the guy who is the top boss. So you get this man here, Edric, Lord of Wendwater. He's a trained fighter, he's a siege leader, he's a holy warrior, unyielding. He's however lustful, but his martial skill is 20, so you want to choose him there. You see his current opinion is only 2. It's gone up to 21 because he desired that job. So that would also affect this here. See, it's gone up to 13,000. That's because that man, who's a lord within your lands, is the lord of this. He now likes you that bit more. The available job to him is he can suppress revolts. See, say for example, your man here wanted to revolt against you. He didn't like you very much. You put him over there. It'd increase the arrest chance if you wanted to arrest him. Or revolt risk. Revolt risk is this. Chance of peasants rising up, which doesn't happen hardly at all. But you also get trained children. You see the fighting skill here. If you set your children to train at an early age, they'll have more chance of being a better fighter when they get older, which is very useful. I think it's determined by your man here's skill, which is only that, but it does have a percentage it would increase. And of course trained troops, which would increase your levy size, which is the available men to march from your castle, and levy reinforcement rate, which reinforces the troops. So if you go ahead and do that, there's now a space there because you can get an extra 2,000 men in the castle, so he'll get to work on that. Next we have the Master Coin, which would be your daughter, the best of the job. She has a good stewardship skill, which is based on the same as the castellan, but she couldn't be the castellan because she is a woman. Some jobs in here are sexist. So that's your daughter. She can either collect taxes or oversee construction. Collecting taxes would of course increase the tax revenue, but as we're building a building over here, as you remember we built the farms earlier, if we got that out of the way faster, we'd have the extra men faster, so we'll get her sorted on that. You also have these buttons here. Say for example you master Tarms, if you didn't want him leading troops because you needed him to increase the amount of men going back in your castle, in case you needed them in the war later on, you'd press that to stop him from leading armies, because if he's leading an army he won't be doing his job, and you can leave leading the armies to the second best man, and the third and the fourth. The reason I say second, third and fourth is because if you have a look at the army here, there are 3 wings. So you'd select your man here to lead the centre, your man here on the side, and your other man here on the other side. Their particular traits do affect how good they are in certain positions. See, he is a defender, so being in the centre would be a good one. He's a siege leader, so when you're sieging the castle, it would be good to have in the centre because he would then take over. And flanker like this. Say he's got less martial, but he's got flanker. He might actually be better on the flank because you see the modifiers here. So we go ahead and put him there. So that's how that works. Master Whisperers. This is based on the Intrigue skill. This is basically Varies if you watch the show. They gain your intel. So it's good to have a man. It's good to have a man here who doesn't hate you, because if you have a negative 100 opinion of you, they will plot to kill you and they will likely succeed because they have a lot of chance. So you want a guy here who likes you. Scheme, which would increase the chance of discovering plots by your vassals or courtiers, that is, plots of people that may try to kill you. For example, you go here, you can choose a plot to kill this man here. If he did that to you, there's an increased chance that you would find out. Well, not if he did it, if somebody else did it, he'd find out for you. So that's very useful at keeping you alive. You also have build a spy network, which increases your assassination chance. It also, if you place him somewhere randomly like here, would let you see the troops moving there. There's not currently anyone there, so that is quite useful. A little trick, because you can't change it until then, if you unassign him and then sign him back again, you'll lose a bit of opinion, but you'll be able to change your mistake in case you do that in part of the game. It also has sabotage the economy, which would lower the tax modifier of, say for example you wanted to go to war with someone and you don't want them to be able to pay for the troops. You'd do that. Maester. This is you only get 1 Maester. They are very different. They don't have any stats available, but they do affect your children growing up in the stats they gain. But there's nothing you can do with them here. You can only have 1, and if he dies, you can't just appoint someone else. You have to go to your Intrigue, and you'll get a pop-up event to send to the Citadel to get a new one. So that's how they work. Now the last one is a Septon. This is based on the learning skill again, but they are a holy man. Now, he can either posteritalize, which would change the religion of somebody under you in the land if you had somebody there of a different religion. If you go here, choose your religion. We're all in a united religion, Faith of the Seven. However, if you went up north and you had this land here, you would send him there to take over that land and change it to your rightful religion. He also has Performing Charity, which lowers the revolt risk within a land. It also has the possible outcome to impress your vassals, which would again go towards increasing your personal levy. So that's good. That's the cancel explained. You also here have ambitions, where you can choose a direction for your character to take. For example, taking a Valerian steel sword. Adopt a lifestyle. There's also having children. These affect your character's fertility. So if they have one of these options taken, they will more likely produce a child. You also have fall in love, improve particular skills. There's also things like became exiled among men, which is the aim to have 6,000 prestige, as well as pagan virtue and amass wealth. We're going to go for have a son because we don't have a son. If she dies, it will not be our child that inherits. We'll probably have another heir if we have a look here. Our next heir is Agalante Dandarian. Durandon, I think we'll go with. But then her, if she inherits, her husband here is her child will not be of your dynasty, so your game will end. So it's best to avoid that. Also have the unmarried heir, which I've already been through, but if you want to go for matrilineal, it will erase options that will not accept. So for example, earlier I chose to sell Win of Tarth. Press this option, will get rid of people who won't accept it like that. But you can still get a good alliance from it. For example, you get an alliance with the north if you go through here. Alliance with Dawn. I think the best would be an alliance with Dawn because that is the big land down here. So if you went for that. He is a bit old, however. This guy here is a bit younger. An alliance with the north would be nice, although they are a lot further away. Can have a little bit of a look round, see if you find anybody else. There's not really anyone that good available. You can also search for someone with stats, because if you're doing it matrilineal, they will come to your court. So it's this Brandon Stark here. He has 24 martial, he's a good fighter. He can lead your armies for you. So if we get him over, we'll just send that. We'll then play the game, wait for them to get back to us. All hail the Storm King, of course. Hopefully they'll get back to us sometime soon, they are quite far away. See, he is now arranged at my court, he is now under me. So, there's no one to pay it, so we won't get any money. So, I can now go back to my council here, and say I wanted to replace this man. It would annoy him, it would lower my, my available levy. But say we did it anyway. We can then get him to train troops, and he would do it even better. So the option is now 8,890. Before it was only 8,300. So that's something you can do. You can marry off your heir to get new people in. He was, however, a bastard. That's probably how he got over. So he is a bastard. He's a skilled fighter, mystic. He's brave, good man to be leading armies, I'd say. And he has a claim on the north, a very strong claim. So when your daughter here has a child and he dies, their child will then have a strong claim on the north as well, which you can use to put them in charge. But that's for another video. I think I'll end that one here. I've shown you through the council. So thank you for watching. I will see you in another video. I look forward to it. Goodbye.